Alrighty, boys and girls, today we got Pepe still ranging after making this massive move up. And most importantly, today we got something new special for today's video. Dog Go to the Moon, which is a meme coin on the Bitcoin blockchain that almost hit $1 billion in its market cap, which is massive right now. And it's now standing at $900 million in its market cap. Are we now on the verge of a new narrative? Or let's say that runes and ordinals narrative now, is it becoming a strong bull market worthy narrative? This is what we're gonna go through in today's video. We're gonna be looking at sats and some interesting coins launching right now on that ordinals and runes and inscriptions and all that world of meme coins on Bitcoin. So with no further ado, let's get into today's video. And you know what to do, guys. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And remember, nothing is financial advice. This show is for entertainment and some education and hopefully finding God. Now, guys, we might be on the verge of something new now. Now, recently we've all seen this dog go to the moon, right? Like the name wasn't really that special. And now recently it rallied to almost $1 billion in its market cap. Now, this might be a new, or at least now we've seen this narrative last year with sats and rats and all kind of stuff launching on ordinals and Bitcoin blockchain. Basically, for those that do not know, it's like Ethereum or Base chain or those other avalanche chain. Well, there is Bitcoin chain, right? So, and that Bitcoin chain hosts now meme coins. Now, you all know now there is some few good narratives now in this cycle when it comes to meme coins, and when it comes to the crypto space, meme coins are going to be the biggest gainers, and it's just fair to be on the lookout, to be always watching for the market, you know what's happening, because really, right, life-changing money depends on that. And now we've got Pepe as the Pepeverse narrative and all that. We know that by now, like Pepeverse related coins like Bretts and Andes and Landwolves, and those are going to be those big gainers and all that stuff. We know that by now. We got the dog with hats and the dog with the hat and all that stuff, the Flokies, the BONK and Solana kind of stuff, like the Book of Meme. We're keeping an eye on those, and the base chain basically as well. But now, since we've got our first strong contender on that Bitcoin, BRC, sats, ordinals, reaching that 1 billion or closing in into that 1 billion, and by the way, this is not a call to action. This doesn't mean go buy dog to the go to the moon, because now it's too high, right? If anything, you want to wait for a pullback, which usually happens around 70%, which we're gonna get to. So we might be looking into a new narrative. By that I mean a strong narrative that is a bull market worthy narrative that we want to be looking for and want to be trading, we want to be making money off. So what I noticed today happened is we've got dog to the moon rallying as it got listed on Bybit futures and a few other exchanges like BingX and those like mid-tier exchanges, but it started pumping, right? So since it started pumping, we remember, guys, pops, right? You remember the pops or ordinals. It's rallied to a $500 million in its market cap, and it's also an ordinals. Like this one is runes, by the way. I'm gonna explain the differences, but both are on Bitcoin. So pops rallied 74% this week, 33% or 37% the last 24 hours, right after that dog go to the moon started pumping, which got me to thinking right now that this is a narrative right now. The market knows about it, the market reacts to it, which we should do as well, right? If we are here to make money, we need to know those things. Like when Pepe pumps, the other Pepeverse guys pump. So when dog go to the moon pump, the other guys on Bitcoin pump as well. And we've got the signs now that ring the bell. Keep an eye on that, right? If you've been following recently, I told you, like, just from my experience, when things drop a lot, usually it's time to buy them because usually they retrace. So just like the last few videos, I've been talking about pops, like maybe it's the right time to get into it, right? Just because of that simple fact that it was hyped up at some point, reached that 500 million and then dropped back to 100 million, which is like a huge, massive drop. And just by that fact alone, I was like, all right, so if anybody's interested into pops, right, that's the right time. I did not factor in that dog to the moon is going to be that guy to pump to close to 1 billion on ordinals and all that stuff, which is runes on Bitcoin basically. Now let's get to the meat of today's video. So this is Ordiscan. There is also Unisat, right? Those are two websites like where you can go and find out about these so-called Bitcoin meme coins. So it's still like, it's a bit complicated than like Dex Screener and Dex Tools and all that stuff, because you don't see the price, you don't see many things. But I'm gonna try to explain to you what I've understood, right? Just to make it simple, right? Not too much geek stuff. So you need to be a bit of a geek to understand literally what they are doing here. So if you go dog to the moon on CoinMarketCap, you'll see on the contract, right? So usually for each coins, you see here 8, you see for the base chain, you see base, for the avalanche, you see AVAX. So here it shows runes, right? So if you just press here or click, right, you want to click that, takes you to ordiscan. So it takes you to the official page. Go to the moon. You see the picture here, right? This cute doggy. Seems like they're going after that dog with a head narrative. Now this is important to understand, like even when it's on another chain, those strong narratives are still needed to give that push needed for any meme coin. Like these guys, they use the dog with head narrative. So this is a dog with a Bitcoin hoodie. Now when you go here, what you see is you see the market cap, right? You see that $928 million, and you see also that in Bitcoin valuation, and you see the price in sats, or like price in dollar and then price in sats, right? 13 sats and then price in dollar amount. And you see the circulating supply, you see the permitted supply, which basically like they can't mint more. So they're only gonna be 100 billion, right? Ever gonna be only 100 billion dog go to the moon tokens or coins or NFTs or whatever you want to call them, because these guys, they have pictures on them, right? So each one you buy is like an NFT, you call it what you want. Like, so just to make it simple, it's a coin with a picture. It's an NFT basically. I do think this is gonna be the NFTs of this cycle, but they do have a price, a collective price, right? Like for one. So they don't show, this is not like Dex Tools or Dex Screens. You cannot find their Twitter page, you cannot find any links basically. Dog go to the moon is on runes, and if you click runes now, you see these whole things here, right? Like, so there are coins, you can call them coins or NFTs or stuff like that. Runes like go to the moon, like pops, like stuff like that, right? They are launching. Also, this looks like, remind me of pump.fun, right? So this is how they do it, these guys on Bitcoin out there. So you got like Cook the meme, right? So Cook the meme pool is now open for trading. So you'll need a special wallet, by the way. If you want to connect, you need either the Xverse or Connect Ladder or Unisat wallet or even Phantom. So I'm just using the Xverse. So when you come here and you want to mine, right? Like you just mine it, shows you the cost, right? Like, so 29 sats gives you 210 Cook to the meme pool tokens or coins or runes or whatever you want to call it. And you can increase that to up to 4,200, right? So each time this is gonna have to be done like that. It's not like you wish to buy 1 billion Pepe coin at launch and you just put that transaction. So they do not operate with a liquidity pool, but more like a minting like NFTs. So the problem I see here now is that you cannot find Twitter, you cannot find any links basically. It's just you shooting in the dark. You only see the market cap though. So you see here the market cap is 3.3 million. That's all basically. You don't have a picture sometimes like this. You don't have a picture, you don't have anything basically. This can be a narrative in the future. I don't know how they are gonna do it, but that's how it works right now. There is no links, nothing like that. Now you can keep scrolling. Those are all new launches, by the way. So, or trending, you can see here trending, market cap, or all this newest. You can find the newest also. Now, like these guys here. So those are the newest. If we go to this one here, you see that are still no market cap, no price yet. You just have the circulating supply and all that. Now you have no idea what's happening, right? So like you go to pump.fun, you get your Twitter pages, your Telegram and all that stuff. Here you have no idea what's happening. There is another way to look for those meme coins right here, and that's the way I've been doing it right now, just like trying to find a way, because you cannot find any links if you look at the new launched ones and the trending ones, nothing like that. There are not much ways to find information unless the coin is listed on CoinGecko or CoinMarketCap, which ordiscan gives you the link to. So now I did Pepe, right? As the Pepe maxi I am. Now I wrote Pepe, and then you see on BRC20 there is a Pepe. Now if we look at this Pepe here, you see here the token price comes from CoinGecko. So if we click on CoinGecko, it takes us to Pepe ordinals, right? And the market cap is around 8.2 million, and it's growing actually, because I looked at it earlier this morning and it was around 7 million. But the point here is we might have found something interesting, right? Like it looks like Pepe, but it's an ordinals. It's also related to the Pepeverse narrative, which is something I know, right? And it seems like the picture is the same. Now I looked at markets, where is it listed, right? And it's listed on Bitmart and Gate.io, right? So this went under the radar, to be honest with you. Now it's at $8 million in its market cap. Now there is also another problem, is that we don't have a Twitter page or a website on CoinGecko, which is another problem, right? So now I also found it on CoinMarketCap, but the same problem persists. There are no links, right? No official links, nothing like that. It just seems like they get listed out of the blue, but they had no websites, no Twitter pages, nothing like that. So the world of ordinals and runes is a bit different than the ones we know from other meme coin places. Now we see as well that it's listed on some exchanges on when we look at it on the coin market cap, the same like in CoinGecko. So that makes the search a bit hard, right? So even if you search for it with the contract address on Twitter, it doesn't show up. When you search for Pepe ordinals, you cannot find it. So now basically what I think for now, what we can do is just build a watch list, right? Like you find Pepe ordinals and you keep it on your watch list. But as soon as we see now in the future dog go to the moon pumping, we know that pops on ordinals is gonna start pumping, and then we want to find those low cap gems on that narrative, which is the ordinals, the rune and stuff like that, which is something I'm gonna keep looking at. Now there are so many other ordinals, right? Like this one, rats, is from the last year. It's also kind of picking up, but the problem is that $154 million in its market cap. Now if you want to really those 100x's, 1000x's, we want to find something at 5 million, below 10 million. That's what we look for. Now if we just write ordinals on coin market cap, we'll see there are many, right? There is pops ordinal, track ordinals, OXBD ordinals, sats, and there are so many right now. So it doesn't seem like many are catching fire right now other than this builds ordinals, and there is pops, obviously ordinals is catching 30% up today, and we have this rats which is up 4% today. Now this is still a new narrative, right? That's why I'm saying, like, is this a emerging new strong narrative that is gonna stay here for the bull market now, especially with the dog go to the moon pumping closing to 1 billion. Now we're gonna have to see obviously how this is gonna play out if dogs to the moon stays around, which now is very likely, right? So it's closing to a 1 billion. Now it might retrace back, right? Like it's gonna usually do that 70% pullback and all that drama that usually happens with a new shiny object, meme coin pumping and all that. But then now that it reached 1 billion, now it's on everyone's radar, obviously, and it's gonna keep pumping in the future just by the pure speculation of this coming back, right? Now we're gonna need to still see some improvement from these scanners, right? Like those ordinals, runes related scanners, because it's a bit hard to navigate. It's not really intuitive. It's pretty hard now to really guess what's happening here. It's just like NFT marketplace basically, and you're just shooting in the dark for now, just going off name. Now obviously we can still do the hunt, right? Like shoot in the dark, throw in a few dollars on some few sats and rats and bitcoins, and dog go to the moons and Snoop Dogs. Only thing we can do now is just to look for narratives that we already know, right? So someone is already launching a bet on Bitcoin. As you can see now, it's like the new narrative, bet on base, bet on eat, bet on this, bet on that. Like someone already is working on bet on Bitcoin. Now obviously these are gonna be really hard to guess right now. These are possibly not gonna do well now because we don't know really who's behind them. There is no links, as you can see now. If we look at this bet on Bitcoin, we see though the holders, right? We see the holders and how much they have, right? The value. Top holder now has 250 million coins, or bet on Bitcoin coins, and you can just mint it from here. But you know guys, this is still very, very risky because we don't know who's behind this. We don't have any info or whatsoever, right? Like there is nothing other than just the holders, and like this is some real OG Bitcoin early days kind of stuff, like where you have to actually just shoot in the dark, right? So that's all we get. What we got now is just to like guess, like dogs basically. I think dogs picked up now. If you write dog, it's gonna be everywhere, especially. And also if we go here, we'll write dog. And I've seen also today this Snoop Dogg, right? Like now that it seems also like the Bitcoin meme coins are all related to dogs now, especially with dog go to the moon. But same problem persists, right? It's hard to find any substantial information on this. That's about it here today, guys. That's the narrative we have right now. I don't know how it's gonna improve, right? Now you can see how hard it is to find these low market cap gems on Bitcoin and stuff like that, which makes it hard. And for now, what we got is dog go to the moon. My personal opinion, guys, I think it's gonna retrace now, right? Obviously after this massive pump, it's gonna retrace. Then we'll see, like usually we see those going back to 200, 300 million. Like we've seen this with Pepe, we've seen this with dog, we've seen this with BONK, right? Like like BONK went to 1 billion, then retraced. We've seen this with Book of Meme, the most recent, right? Went to 1 billion, then back to 200, 300. We've seen this with Breton Base, went to 1 billion and then almost like 800 million, then down to 200. It always happens, right? Like that's why we don't want to be rushing right now. This is not the right time to be buying dog go to the moon. Now, if you're holding, congrats, but for the new people, this is not the right time, right? Mainly now, it's better to be on pops or ordinals, right? Because that's the derivative right now that is following. It's up 21% though. So now we know, right? When dog go to the moon pumps, we have pops is pumping, we have pops ordinals is pumping, and we have sats or rats now is up 4%. I wouldn't say that is a pump, but it's there, right? It just shows that people know about it, which is important. Now we're gonna monitor this narrative. For now, it's still like a beta narrative. I wouldn't call it an alpha narrative like the Pepe verse narrative or the other stronger ones like the Solana or base chain meme coins. Those are still the alpha ones. Now we have the ordinals and rats and sats. Those still are beta narrative for now. I wouldn't call it like the narrative of the cycle, like the Pepe verse narrative. But we'll see, like even then, even on ordinals, they still have to use Pepe and stuff like that. Like most importantly, right, like we want to keep an eye on this Pepe here. That's how I like Pepe ordinals. This should be interesting. Like I'm still gonna have to look for their Twitter pages and what's happening here, how these things work. Do they even need to have a Twitter page, or is this like just the old days Bitcoin style? And now to just wrap up the video, just remember now, guys, Bitcoin is at 70k almost today, right? It did tap that 70k. It's still looking bullish. Now we're just waiting for this breakout to happen on Bitcoin. This, right? So this is still like playing now. Bitcoin is still holding about this support, which is very important right here. That's 67. And as soon as we break out, I do think personally we're gonna see a new high and a continuation, maybe toward 80k, 78k right here, somewhere here. This also bringing obviously meme coins and altcoins with it. So that's the outlook here so far. We stay strong. We're still entering that real bull market yet. We haven't really started that yet, like the full euphoria phase and stuff like that. We haven't gotten there yet. We're just here, us together, the crypto boys and girls. There are no new people really entering that much. So we're here, we're waiting, we're diamond handed. I want to thank you so much for watching today's video till the end. I appreciate you so much, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.